Alright, Shalom. Double honors to the apostles of GMS on the street brothers that be pushing this truth and sincerity. There's gonna be a short video on the upcoming race wars, within the state of America, and the empathy I'm going for here is the fact that the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are slowing this whole thing down, man. All right, and not for the good reasons as well. Right, what you're gonna find out is that the elite bankers, or banking families, want this race wars to start. And us, as the prophets, as the men of the Lord, right, who you despise so much, we also want you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans to start rioting, right? Because what the white man wants to do, Esau, he wants you niggas to start rioting, and then once you lot start rioting, you're going to start off, he's going to institute his martial law, and what we're looking forward to on the right-hand side, when we look at it, the closer you go into martial law, the quicker we go into martial law, the quicker we're gonna get into the kingdom, man. It's that clear cut and simple, right? So I've got two articles here, right, which I'm gonna get into, and in fact, I think I've opened up the same article twice. Here we go. Here's the second article, nice and prepared for you, good brothers now, right? And it says here. Warning: Obama planning wave of racial attacks across America in wake of Michael Brown grand jury decision. All right. It goes on to say here, um, regardless of the decision, right here, regardless of the decision rendered by Ferguson jury, someone or some group will allegedly take matters into their own hands. In the case of a vigilante justice, a future terror scenario is a word again, in which racist white people, right, attack African American protests or celebrations, which are expected nationwide in aftermath of grand jury is expected. Now this has already happened, right? It says this particular notion was confirmed on November the 15th, 2014, when it was reported that the police nationwide are bracing for protests after grand jury's decision, right? But if you look out, look for the video regarding the same topic here on YouTube, what you're gonna find out is all that they tried to set up, all of these different stand-ups that they tried to set up, man, right? They didn't really pop off because you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans weren't rioting enough, man. You was in that slumberous spirit, as we can see in the scriptures. You was in that, you was in that dazed spirit, and you still are, man. Right up until the Most High, rouses your spirit up. Because Jake ain't in no roused up spirit right now, man. They're in the, relaxing and chilling and all that, man. That's what they're into, right? It says this particular notion was confirmed on November 15th, 2014, when it was reported that the police nationwide are bracing for protests after a grand jury decision. According to reports, police departments from Boston are bracing for large demonstrations when the grand jury decides whether to indict white police officer for Mike Brown. And what happened was he didn't, they let the guy go. Right, but these dudes didn't come up with no roused up spirit about the dude getting let off, man. So Esau couldn't really put through his plan, man. He couldn't really, have that terror scenario with them Edomite racists, man. Right, coming out a protest or anything like that. And really, another way they could have had it to go down, because this article goes down the angle of mass rioting and all of that. Another way they could have got it to go down is uh, um the concept slipped my mind right now. But I was watching it on one of the alternative media outlets, right? How they could start these race wars, and they want these race wars because these race wars are going to implement their martial law, right? So you could have it to where a bunch of Edomites would have rolled up into there, or you would have had it to where they wanted it. Really, they wanted it to where Jake was going to be so roused up, he was going to start tearing shit up. But that didn't really pop off like that, Marcus. These dudes are on some slumberous shit, man. Right? And you're wasting, you gotta do is, I wouldn't say wasting time because it's all in the more size plan, but you dudes gotta be more roused up, man. Right? Now, as for the men of the Lord, man, right? We're roused up, man. Every day we stay on fire, man. We stay on point, right? It says, less than 24 hours later, the FBI warned Ferguson grand jury decision will likely lead to violence. All right. And it says the translation, the FBI is planning a provocateur riots and race attacks in aftermath of grand jury decision. So they're in they're amidst that, man. Right. So we're at this side of it now. Right. So this that didn't really get to pop off the way you had someone provoking riots and race wars, right? And the main reason it didn't happen because dudes weren't really even rolling in the streets like that, man. They weren't rioting or anything like that. Man. They didn't go out and do some more burning and looting, man. Dudes were just walking up and down the streets, man. And you have nothing better to do, man. Right out there in the cold shit. Right, it says in order to racially hype the impending Ferguson grand jury decision. Now, like I said, man, that this one has already happened, right? But what's most likely going to happen is they're going to set another one off, man. And you can see it's a heavy thing in the news right now, man. Right? And what they're doing is splitting them, splitting those classes, social classes, racial classes, and all of that, man. Right? It says as it was reported back on November 10th, 2014, that the Texas will be fired up over racially charged tweets on the Ferguson. It says the unprovoked verbal attacks on whites was designed to serve as a timely motive for a revenge-like attack, possibly by white Texans. Right now, hopefully the empathy has already been reached. But I'm gonna read this bit. It says the KKK attack. Exactly what type of race war attack is planned is not known. Right, so exactly how it's gonna go down, I ain't saying exactly what's gonna happen. I'm not saying how it's gonna happen either. Right, just trying to show the information that I've come across. Excuse me. The information that I've come across. But what's inevitable is the fact that we're gonna get into a state of martial law by way of racial tension, right? But you damn well know that they ain't gonna be touching prophets, man, because the Lord's gonna look after His prophets. But it might happen to where someone might have to take one for the team. We don't know how the Most High is gonna set it up. But for the most part, man, the prophets ain't gonna really be touched with them race riots, man. What's really gonna get the prophets is when the martial law hits, because the scriptures speak about that, right? Speech in the book of Mark the 13th chapter and the 8th verse. Something to the effect of, "Don't worry about what words you're gonna say when they take you up to council." All right, it says, but it says exactly what type of race war attack is planned is not known. All right, but it's highly likely that the state-sponsored terror groups known as the that's cool, man. All right, so now you know it's a state-sponsored terror group known as the Ku Klux Klan. It will be involved. It says in its publicity stunt designed to bring unprecedented media attention to the KKK just prior to a wave of race attacks. It was reported on November 12th, 2014. Says that blacks, Hispanics, gays, and Jews, don't know how they put them. I don't know why they put the faggots in there, man. Right, and that's how really Esau thinks about you. He's black and Hispanics, man. He sees you blacks and Hispanics as some damn in the same category as some damn faggots, man. Alright, and they put them rats in there as always, just to remind you that the rats are still running around. It says, I'm now welcomed by the Ku Klux Klan. It says 5 days later, on November 17th, 2014, anonymously publishes reportedly publishes the names of Ferguson Ku Klux Klan members. A day later, alright, on November 18th, 2014, the KKK allegedly hit by a cyber attack after issuing Ferguson. So I mean, it's so very interesting, but it didn't really pop off like it was supposed to, man. You know, because you dudes, you Negroes, Hispanics, you know, rouse up spirit, right? It says, excuse me. This is the next article. It says, Wayne Allen Root. So Obama using Ferguson attack to start a race war, right? Declare martial law, really. So he's starting a race war to declare martial law, and everybody knows that there's been an impending state attack on the people, man. They wanted to use that Ferguson thing, like I said, man. But you know, the information that I've come across in the videos and all of that, man, leads me to believe really these dudes weren't really roused up enough for them to have done that, man. It wasn't big enough, man. So guess what they're gonna have to do? You have to jump on more of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. They're gonna have to do something bigger. It says consecutive prudent Hawaiian Allen Root writes in a WorldNet Daily column today that President Obama waited to speak out on the crisis in Ferguson, Missouri, because he is trying to start a race war and distract voters from issues like Obamacare and immigration. Root, who probably would have attacked Obama for fostering racial hostility had he weighed in on the situation in Ferguson earlier, right? And remember, man, that's why they put a so-called black leader in there, right? So just as they're crashing the economy, they can start this. Just as they use Obama to crash, you know, the American empire, as it were, right? They can also have better reason, right, for that racial attacks, man. So there's gonna be days of deep rooted hatred for you, for especially for the Negro, right, in America, right, because that monkey's in there, man, and they don't know better, man, right, because that monkey really is a Hamite, but as far as the people are concerned, man, he's a Jake, he's an Israelite, right, he's a so-called Negro, right, but he is says rights that Obama could have put in smoldering fire out days ago by appearing in Ferguson, since he isn't just any president, he's the first black president, like I was saying. Right after arguing Obama hasn't spoken about the race-related issues enough, he goes on to accuse Obama of stirring the pot on the racial, because he desperately needs to distract the people to carry out his plans to destroy this country. So Obama needs division, race war, class warfare, anger, resentment, civil war. Right? You seeing this, man? You seeing this, man? All right? And they, you know, that, remember his motto, man. He was gonna bring the change, man. That's the change he was talking about, man. They're talking about their so-called new world order, man. But we know it's gonna fail for the spirit of Hawaii Hausa. It says here is the perfect opportunity to divide the nations, to incite unrest, violence across America, he writes. He says, if American people are fighting each other, they wouldn't see what is really happening to the country and think of the bonuses here. Obama could use the spreading unrest to declare martial law. Right? It says this situation could have been diffused 10 days ago with an appearance of the president. Now, like I said, man, this is all kind of old information that I stumbled upon, right? But because I did the video just prior to this, going into the impending martial law, I thought it necessary to actually for you to actually see the information, right? And the instances where it could be undoubtedly proven that these dudes are on some martial law tip, man. They want to start off a race war so they can declare that martial law, you know, deal with you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, basically depopulate. And that's it, man. Right, now let me get into the scriptures real quick. It says, I'll start off from this one in no particular order. It's Isaiah 66 and 4. It says, I will choose their delusions and I'll bring their fears upon it. Right, that's talking about all of the philosophies that you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are into that have got you docile, man. That have got you in sleep mode, right? Whether it's Christianity, which is a sleep mode. Man, when you go into the scriptures speak about um, believe it might be in Galatians or First Thessalonians 6, 1 and 6, where it talks about seeing it as a righteous thing for the Most High to avenge them that cause you trouble, man. So when the children of Israel is gonna be raised up, man, Most High is gonna have it to where they execute vengeance. None of this sit back and relax in type spirit. It says also I will cause their delusions and I bring fears upon them, right? Because when I called, they did not answer, and that's one of the fears. The martial law is gonna be a fear, because just like how you seen the military being all builded up, the so-called policemen up there in America, they're getting into their they're being bumped up, for lack of a better word. They're being more militarized, if I could say that, right? Coming out with, they get more guns and getting the vehicles, right? They're getting more vehicles so they can lock off whole cities, right? He says, because when I called, none did answer, and when I spoke, they did not hear, right? But they did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not, right? Which is the same delusions, right? And he chose not to fear the Most High, but he chose some damn Buddha or some damn Cesare Borgia, right? Or some damn Hermetic gods, right? Which is even worse, because well, none of that bullshit even makes any sense, man. All right. Going into the next scripture, this is Jeremiah 2:14. Going on the angle of unique laws, just makes Native Americans just in that docile spirit, just sitting down and really just being a slave, man. Right, being a happy slave, man, a coon, so you can understand. It says, is Israel a servant? Is he a horn-born slave? Why is he spoiled, man? Right? It says, the one I wanted. No, I was thinking of Judas like a lion as well, right? We shall rouse him up, right? We get on to the next precept now. Right? This is Ecclesiasticus 10:6. Right? It says, folly is set in great dignity, because everything else that really Jake gets roused up about, man, right? NBA, football, or, these things are on rotation. When the NBA season finishes, right, the football season starts, and that's really what Jake arouses up his spirit, man. Right? Dudes will have an all-out, full-on conversation, full-on argument about some damn LeBron James dunk or some shit like that, right? But they don't do that the same thing for the scriptures. And they don't do the same thing for their own people, man. They'll march, right? But you don't see J. Cole fervent like that about some damn marching, man. All right, and really, that's what we're waiting for, man. Because as soon as the minute Jake gets it into his head, man, that these people don't like him, one, right? That there's no other choice but to roll up into their neighborhoods, because all we're doing when we do right, and I say we, man, that's first and foremost, that's the 1/3, man. They're gonna be burnt anyway, right? But when these so-called leaders of those people, when they go out, they do their rioting or they do their marching, man. They do their rioting, they do it in their own communities, man. Right, fucking up the whole damn place, man. Burning up the liquor store that Miss Jones owns, man. Some damn nigga woman, or you know, we don't be they don't be hitting them Edomite neighborhoods, man. Right? That's their real enemy, man. Right? Now this is Isaiah the 6th chapter and 11th verse, and says, then said I, how long, O Lord? Right? How long are they gonna in fact, let me read up. This is the 9th verse, Isaiah 69. He says, and he said unto me, go tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not. See ye indeed, but perceive not. So you seeing this on the news, right? You got brothers bringing it out for you, right? On the streets, right? You see it, but you don't see it, man. You don't perceive it, right? And this is what the Lord said. It says, make the heart of this people fat, make their ears heavy, and shut up their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart, and they convert and be healed. Right? And they said, and this is what Isaiah says. So, how long are they going to be in that docile state of mind, man? Right? He says, and then said I, how long, O Lord? And he answered me, until the cities be laid waste, right, without inhabitants, and the houses without man, till the land be utterly be destroyed. So that's when Jake's gonna want to rouse up when he actually sees his precious America, right? It's being destroyed, man, because that's the people that are in love with America so much, man. It's the people of Israel, right? And this is Romans the 11th chapter and the 8th verse. It says, according as it is written, the Most High has given them a spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, ears that they should not hear, right, unto this day. And this is the chaos that King David gave them. It says, and King David, it says, and David saith, let their table become be made a snare, a trap, a stumbling block, right, and a recompense unto them. That their eyes be darkened, right, that they may not see, right, and bow down and be turned back or away, right, so that they may, so they were going to be in a docile spirit, man, that sleeping, they was going to be in sleep mode, man, right? They weren't going to see the fact that their enemy, right, is plotting against them, right? But with that, hopefully that was edifying, right? And with that, must say double honor to the apostles of GMS and honor to your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.